All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we're going to talk about a couple things regarding the Chicago Bears. But before I get into that, we got some breaking news. Again, just love using that. So Adam Schefter tweeted that Bill Belichick is now joining Underdog Fantasy to create and co-produce a new football show debuting this season. The show will feature Belichick breaking down film, taking fans through the process as if he were coaching the team. So he's just, he's gathering the Infinity Stones for media. So now he's with Underdog Fantasy. He's with Inside the NFL. He's with Pat McAfee, the Manning cast. So, he needs two more to fill up the gauntlet there. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up as well. So, I mean, that should be interesting. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of Belichick. I mean, he's going to be everywhere. He's going to be like, hey guys, can you get me a job, a coaching job? I'm not going away. So, and Anthony Manzano in the chat, welcome. How's everything with you? One of our, he's kind of a regular now. Yeah, nice to see you in the chat. But let's get into talking about the Bears here. So a couple things. The main thing I wanted to talk about, of course, is DJ Moore. So DJ Moore, he signed a contract extension. He's the latest receiver to sign a contract. We're still waiting on, of course, CeeDee Lamb and his new deal and Brandon Ayuk. But, yeah, so DJ Moore, the contract, I have the specifics here. So he agreed to a 4-year, $110 million extension. The extension includes $82.6 million guaranteed. He will average $27.5 million per year over the next 4 years, and the total value of the deal would be the fifth highest among receivers. And he still has 2 years remaining on his current deal. And he's coming off of a season, 96 receptions, 1,364 yards, and 8 touchdowns, as we have here. And, did well. Yeah, as you can see, did well in his first year with the Bears. Now, that was with Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent at quarterback. Now you got Caleb Williams. So we'll see how that chemistry builds throughout the year. And, of course, I've talked about the Bears and how I really like what they've done this offseason. I like their offense on paper. The defense improved last year. I like the direction the Bears are going in. I think you have to be optimistic. I know Bears fans, it's been rough for you guys, but there's got to be some optimism there with the direction this team is going in. Now, they play in a tough division. I understand that. But, in this NFC, they could definitely make a run at the playoffs, I feel like. Because I said around 9-10 wins for the Bears. I think that's fair. And we'll see them play tomorrow. Now, we're not going to see their stars play tomorrow. Caleb Williams, we're not going to see. We're not going to see DJ Moore. We're not going to see any of the first strings. It's going to be Tyson Bagent who's starting, which, we kind of figured. So, that broke yesterday. We kind of figured, but, just to bring that up as well. But, yeah, DJ Moore getting paid. I think he, deserves it. And, he's one of the more underrated receivers in the NFL. He doesn't really get talked about, as much as some of the other guys, like, of course, Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown, those guys. Now, I don't think he's on, the same level as those guys, but you know what? He's a pretty good receiver. He's been pretty consistent over the course of his career. Other than 2018 and 2022, he's had over 1,100 yards receiving in all of his seasons. From 2019 to 2021, he had over 1,100 yards receiving. And, this was a career best for him, 1,364 receiving yards. Cam Newton got banged up in some of those years. He didn't have Cam Newton. You had Teddy Bridgewater and, they brought Cam Newton back in 2021 for a little bit. But, you had Sam Darnold playing, P.J. Walker. And then in 2022, you had Baker Mayfield and, Sam Darnold again. And then last year, of course, was Justin Fields and Tyson Bagent. But yeah, DJ Moore has been a pretty good receiver since he first came into the league back in 2018. And also a career best in receptions and in touchdowns. He had 8 touchdowns, which was a career high in a single season, and 96 receptions. He did have 93 in 2021. But yeah, this was a good move for the Bears. And DJ Moore, how old is he? DJ Moore is 27 years old. Yeah, I mean, I expect him to have a productive season once again. And how is it going to be now? Because the receiving core has improved. And you got Keenan Allen in there who's going to get a share of targets. You got Ruma Dunze who's going to get a share of targets. So, yeah, the numbers are going to go down a little bit for DJ Moore, I would imagine, just because, of the other targets in this offense. But I still look at him as the number one receiver at the moment. I'm really excited to see what this receiving core is going to do. I think this is one of the best trios of receivers in the NFL. And then, they're playing the Texans tomorrow, who also got a very good trio themselves. And we'll see both trios on full display in week 2 when they play against each other on Sunday Night Football. Looking forward to that game. That game I got circled. I know that. But yeah, I mean, for the Bears, like I said, you got to be optimistic. You got to have some optimism going into this year. I just feel like with this trio of receivers, you got Cole Kmet. I think the running game is going to be good with DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert. It's up to Caleb Williams, and he's super talented, and I think he got put in the right situation with the playmakers around him. So let's see what he could do. But yeah, he's not going to be playing tomorrow, which he said he would have liked to have played, but ultimately it was up to the coach Matt Eberflus, and that just that did not happen. He decided, yeah, you're not going to play. And, I did see, I think it was Victor Cruz, he was talking about it, that, why are you going to have him playing a meaningless game? And I get it. I mean, no starters usually play in the Hall of Fame game. I think it's, from a fan's perspective, you're like, well, I would like to see him play just to, at least see him. We still got to wait a little bit. But he's definitely going to play in the preseason, I would imagine. Just not tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to see Tyson Bagent against Davis Mills. That's what we're going to see. But I'm just excited that we're getting football back because it's been so long this offseason. It's taken forever. And, I'm just happy that it's back. And, between this and college football, we got there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about, from now till February. So I'm really looking forward to this year. And, we'll see what happens. Yeah, let me know what you guys think, though. How do you guys feel about Caleb Williams not playing tomorrow? I mean, again, I think most people, including myself, were like, hey, we get it. This it wasn't going to happen. But, he wanted to play in it. So, but it's not up to him ultimately. So, but you know what? They got DJ Moore in for the long haul. Of course, Roma Dunze's on his rookie deal. You got Keenan Allen. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this trio of receivers can do. I really am. It's going to be fascinating to watch. So, I just want to get to the real thing, just so we could at least, see some game action and we could, talk about it. But, still got to wait. But, we're getting there. Tomorrow's the first game of the year, and get excited because we'll preview the game. We'll actually preview the game tomorrow, even though it's going to be interesting because, I mean, it's all the backups are playing, but it gives us something to talk about. And again, I can't tell you how excited I am. I mean, I keep saying it. So, but yeah, I just wanted to go over a couple things with the Bears. Again, congrats to DJ Moore on getting his contract extension. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about what kind of year he's going to have. I think he'll have another good year. But like I said, I think the numbers will tick down a little bit just because, them adding Roma Dunze, them adding Keenan Allen. But, DJ Moore, I still view him right now as the number one weapon in this offense. But it's going to be interesting because there's one ball. So, one of these guys might not feast in a game, and they might, they might have something to say about it. But we'll see what happens. So, before we go to break, I just want to remind you guys once again to tip or donate and get your comments recognized. Make sure to go to the following link. That is GSMCPodcast.net. Really helps the show, makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is GSMCPodcast.net. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker at the bottom of the show segment down below. So when we come back from our second break of the show, we will talk about the Steelers. We'll talk about a couple things. Russell Wilson returning to practice, as well as the other Wilson, Roman Wilson, one of their rookie draft choices, suffering an ankle sprain. So I'll talk about that. Also, just the receiver depth as a whole for the Steelers. Get into that discussion when we return from our second break. So with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.